Hit my line, say it's fine. Know how to make me believe it, always give you one more try. Make me cry 1,000 times, but I keep falling back into your beautiful web of lies. I hate the way your sweater takes me to 17. I hate that I feel better when you talk that shit to me. Why do I always answer when you start calling me? I hate that I'm so in it, even though you're in between. Even though you're in between. Hot and cold, just let me know. Don't leave me hanging, don't keep me obsessing about it for days. But if you don't let me go, I'll keep on holding a hope, never get you out of my brain. I hate the way your sweater takes me to 17. I hate that I feel better when you talk that shit to me. Why do I always answer when you start calling me? I hate that I'm so in it, even though you're in between. Even though you're in between. I know you left your sweater at her place. Baby, you really messed up. It's too late. Don't wanna wait forever. So quit calling me. No, this time I won't give in. 'Cause I know you're in between. Even though you're in between.
All right. Hey guys, we are Freddy and Andressa, and this is your Methodology Mondays. Welcome back, everyone, for one more live video.
Welcome back. Happy Monday, everybody. Hope you guys are going to have a very good week ahead. So we're going to start the week with a little bit of a conversation as last week. And today we're going to talk about styling.
Oh yeah.
So this is a question that we get a lot while we are mentoring some of the instructors that come to us to ask about like our methodology, the way we teach, and the way we do things in school. And a lot of people have questions about when to start teaching styling options for the students. And we know that a lot of students and people who are learning as well have this question of when to start learning and applying some styling to their dance. And some of them are even anxious to start doing so from the very beginning.
Then comes all those overwhelming thoughts like, as a teacher, when should I start teaching? Is it the time? Is this going to be good? I want my students to look good, so I'm going to put some styling. Should I do it or not? And as a student, like, I want to do those arms, I want to do those legs, I want to do those stuff. And then like, okay, this is the time I want to learn it. Should I learn it now? Is it the right moment? Is it going to enrich my dance? It's going to disturb my dance? Then it's like, what to do?
Yes, so we are going to talk a little bit about it, the way we see it, the way we view it, a little bit of the way we teach it when we introduce it, what we really think about it. And you can also let us know in the comments what you think about it, what your experience is or was teaching and learning how to style your dance. Okay, so Freddy and I, we have one of our mottos. We have a few mottos that
Yeah.
guide us through our career as instructors. And one of them is like move well first and then move more. This is very important because we really believe that all of our core movements have to be well done first.
Yeah.
So we can start adding movement to it. So we build up on top of something that is working really, really well.
Yeah. The idea is that you learn the movement, you know how to do it, so you control this movement. It's working nice. You don't need to think about the movement anymore when you do it. So then, okay, it's a moment that you can start refining some things. Like start doing things to work on top of the movement that you already have in control. So this is one start point to like, should I start adding or learning styling for this thing that I'm doing now, like a certain movement or whatever it is. But so one thing is like, how much do you own that movement? So as Andressa would say, it's better that you know how to do it and then you start working on moving better. So then you move more.
Exactly. And it goes for simple things. For example, some people already have a naturally beautiful way of walk. So sometimes you see some people walking on the street and they walk beautifully. They move beautifully. And they don't need to add anything to their walk. You don't see people adding things to their walk.
Yeah,
right?
this is a very good point because there are a lot of people, followers and leaders, that they move beautifully already. The way they move just by doing the movements, it's beautiful. And then when they start trying to put styling on it, it's not as beautiful as it was before.
Yeah, the the natural version, right? So, for example, we can get the lateral. If you do a beautiful lateral, you don't necessarily have to add anything else to your lateral. If you think really careful about the way you step and transfer your weight and your posture and however you want your presence or whatever you want to express with the lateral, and put that out and refine that movement. So if you refine your lateral, you don't necessarily need to add a styling to your lateral. So we are much more concerned about this refining of the movement. So how well, not only the control of the movement technically itself, but how well we do that movement, how gracious we do that movement on its own, not necessarily adding accessories to it. Because we can think about like the styles, like the styling elements as like accessories. And sometimes, less is more actually.
It goes a lot with the emotional content that you put in the movement because it's like this. If your lateral it's correctly technically speaking, then okay, good point, it's working good the way it should be. And then what do you want to express with the lateral? Do you want to dance as a powerful person, woman or man, or do you want to show that you have confidence? It's like badass style, that you are really like a badass dancer, or you want to be more sensual in the dance? You want to give some sex appeal in this, just some fire thing here and there, but not going too much in that way, but just a little bit more. Or I don't know, like you want to play a little bit more gracious, So depending on the emotional content you bring to the movement, it will bring already the beauty behind it. It's gonna be much more. It's gonna have much more impact for the viewers if you bring this emotional content and the beauty behind it. Then if you just add a lot of arm work and leg work and a lot of stuff that you're just adding more movement, and in the end you're just moving more, but not telling anything, not touching anything. So it goes a lot with this emotional content you put when you're doing something.
Yeah. And it's like, as we were saying, like this refining of the movement goes along with this conscience, how conscious you are about the movement you're doing, and what you want to express with the movement as well, as Freddy was saying. So this is like how we view like styling. It's not that it's a bad thing. It's a very good thing to add and have options and play with it. But if the movement itself that you're trying to style is not beautiful on its own, probably your style is gonna do more harm than good, if that makes any sense. So I would highly advise you, as an instructor or as a person who are learning, that be more concerned about refining the movement itself. Do a
Yeah.
beautiful basic, do a beautiful lateral, do a beautiful bones, do a beautiful head movement, do a beautiful mergulho,
Yeah.
and then you think about what else can you add to that already beautiful mergulho. Think about like self grooming, right? Like
Yeah.
if you are going into a job interview or to a wedding or to whatever it is, and you want to put on like really nice, beautiful clothes. If you yourself is not well groomed, like if you don't have a shower, like if you don't, as a male, you don't shave, or if you don't take a very good care
Yeah,
of
don't comb
your
your
like
hair.
your nails, don't comb your hair,
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what jewelry or clothes you're gonna be wearing, because it's not gonna really like disguise that you are not well groomed for the situation, right? So it's like it's the same thing. You have to think about this, you have to think about that. You have to like to be well groomed. You have to have healthy skin before you put makeup on top of your
Yeah.
skin, right? So you take care of your skin, like drink water, wash it, clean it, moisturize it, and then when your skin in a well taken care of for health reasons, then you put on some makeup if you want to play with it, right? If you want to highlight or disguise anything.
Yeah, it goes like this because now we have the conflict. As a student, I want to do it. I want to have the styling. I want to learn some things to do with my arm, my legs. As a teacher, I see all the needs that comes before. So then, okay, the student wants this, but the teacher should do another thing. And then like, how are we gonna balance this, right? Because so it is a very sensitive situation that you need to feel how it goes with the group. But of course, you need to give what they need by giving them also what they want. So it's a little bit like here and there because when you start refining the movement, they feel they are progressing with the movement. So they feel they are going towards the goal they have, which is to do it better, do it more beautifully. It's not necessarily you are giving a styling. You are still working on the movement, but you are refining the way the movement works. Like one simple way of opening the chest, you just put it in a more beautiful way, syncing with the breathing, all the suspensions and landings controlled. So you start going to the same direction that the student want, but the way they need, not the way they want. Because of course, if you give what the students want all the time, they start in the first day wanting to learn head movement. They see all those beautiful movements. They like, I want to do that. That's why I came for Zouk. I want to do it. So of course, as Andressa was saying, we will need to go. Like when you were doing the makeup, for example, you put a foundation, you balance all the skin so everything is ready to receive more information. Now you put shadows, you put your rímel, you put other stuff, like put whatever you need to put after. So yeah, then I don't know those names, but then you're gonna look. You probably will gonna look good. But imagine if you start your makeup just by coming with shadows, and then you put lipsticks. Then after this, you put a foundation, then put pancakes on top of it. You end up like in a Halloween, right? So your dance cannot look like a Halloween, right? So that's how we should start building everything. So we get to the styling after everything.
Yes, but there are some situations where the styling can come in early.
To every rule, there are exceptions, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So this is how we think about movement in a nutshell, right? We think that we should move well first before we move more, and that refining the movement itself is more important and sometimes even more beautiful than adding accessories or adding stuff to it, right? But there are a lot of styling situations that has function.
Yeah.
So this is when it comes a little bit earlier on in the learning and teaching process. For example, we're gonna get two examples here of things that are still like in the basic area, in the foundation area, when we teach the elastico, or a lot of people knew it previously as Raul. We do not use that name anymore. If you're curious about official Brazilian Zouk syllabus, you can go and check it out, the Brazilian Zouk Council website.
Yeah, we have all the syllabus for the beginners, the foundation.
Yes.
So then you see like all the official names that everyone is using right now.
Yes. So when we say elástico, is the old Raul. A lot of people learned as Raul before. Okay. So when we teach the elástico, for example, we do not teach the body movement at first. We just do the mechanics of the footwork and the rubber band effect without any body movement in the follower side.
So the follower just go forward and backward in the basic step without going to an extension,
And
going to contraction
contraction.
to come up. So it's just like forward and backward.
So while we are doing that, the leaders are working on their footwork that goes around the follows before going back to basic. While they are doing that, I already start introducing a little bit of an arm movement into that movement. But this arm is not only for styling purpose. It has a function.
Yeah.
It has actually two functions. First, they have to be out of the way because the leader will be going around and they will be establishing a connection with his hand on your back. So you cannot leave your arms down. Otherwise, when
You're
you
gonna be
return
locked.
back to basic, you're gonna be locked in the embrace, right? So the arm movement has the function of making sure your arms will be out of the way when the leader starts his walk and when he passes on your left side and embrace you on the waist to bring you back to basic. So I already introduced this very simple arm movement for the follow. Let me go just a little bit back just for you to see. So it's just the arm going forward and down and the other going up and down, okay? So always straight arms because the leader will be passing here. So if you have it bent, you may cause an accident. Same thing with this side, right? And we always want to go to the edge of the movement. There is the refinery. Then we do, of course, we are going to work the arms to do it as beautifully as we can, right? So we work on relaxing the hands and things like this. The other function is to already exercise some coordination between arms and legs, right? So at the same time that we are keeping the basic step, we are moving the arms as well. So this will allow for the follows to exercise the coordination of arms and legs in a very simple movement, basic step, arms forward and up, you know, and we'll have the function as well of getting those arms out of the way so the leader can have the free way for him to go around in the elastic. And the follows are happy as well to have something beautiful to do while doing the movement. So we have the styling function as well. So this is one case, right? The second case, for example, would be during the follows bonus or boomerang, when I teach at the end of the boomerang one variation of patinha that we do kind of a rounded jump and go up in a suspension, which is not exactly the very basic variation, the very simple movement, but it has a function to exercise and work this suspension and landing, the timing and the coordination with the breathing as well while doing the patinha. So it's also a style variation that I teach very early on in the work of the bonus and boomerang, but because it's not only beautiful, but it has a function as well. That it's exercise, something that we're gonna use a lot for the follows, which is the hold of the suspension and the relaxation in the landing, without having the hiccup feeling and like really like abrupt like ups and downs, because that's not the intention with the suspension and the landing.
So, and as we can see, when we talked about the elastico, it's something that it's in the beginners level. It's in the while the students are learning the foundation, and all these movements of the arm, they are just for a function of freeing up the area for the leader. And it could be done just by like doing this, taking out of the way, and then doing this out of the way. But the function is being done, it's being executed. So that's the purpose, getting out of the way. But then again, the students wants to do it, and they want to look, they want to look beautiful, and then you also want them to look beautiful while doing this. So then again, you are refining the movement, adding the style they desire, but not exactly like, let's see this arm here right now. First, they are learning the whole elastic group. So again, it's that thing. You get the function and make just that function happens more beautifully. In the case of the bonus, in this ending where they control the suspension and the landing, it's something that is going to be so important throughout the dance journey, because as a follower, they're going to have this in the lateral when they step in pivot, they're going to have it in the simple turn when they step in pivot to return to the leader. So there'll be so many situations that they will use this function of controlling the way up in the suspension and the way down through the landing, so not falling, that it's going to be like super useful for them since the beginning, and then again, the function is just that control, but then we get it into a movement to make it more beautiful. That's when we are making this more stylish, so the students, they feel that they are getting the styling. You are not taking the styling away, but you are adding the styling in a way that it's much more making the movement happens better than just like putting a lot of accessories on it.
Exactly. So in some situation, it even helps the movement to happen. Like, because there, for example, if you focus on this motion of the suspension and the relaxation in this variation, for example, it will help the movement to happen better. So if this styling variation, let's put it like this, has a function, then we can introduce it a little bit earlier on in the process. But if it's only for aesthetics, then we leave it a little bit for either special classes that we do a little bit in the mid-season, something like this, or really after the movements and the core of the movement is already working really, really well.
Yeah, I think that's those are good points already to think about how to introduce styling, or when to start teaching styling and when you should learn. I know I've been there as a student too, that I really wanted to do something and I felt like, I could have it already, I can handle it, and then no, it was good that I had good teachers that made me wait for the right moment, so when I got it, it happened as it should.
Yeah, guys, and to avoid the anxiety of the students, we have a few tricks. Not exactly tricks, I would say, but we have inside our method like ways that the students, they don't really feel that they are stuck somewhere. Although for some people, when we talk about like how long we take to introduce head movement, for example, people tend to feel that it's a little bit too long. But we have, so let us know in the comments if you guys would like to know a little bit what is the process, what are our tricks, and how do we do to avoid that the students feel this anxiety to all the time be ahead of where they should be at that moment. And we can discuss that as well. Maybe if you guys are interested in another methodology Monday.
Yes.
Too, then we can go a little bit more in depth.
We can make another video going in depth on it. Yeah.
And it's another thing that comes to the conversation very often is about like the over styling. Is that a thing? Does it exist? Does it happen? When it happens? Why it happens?
Man. It happens, and it happens a lot.
When can that become a problem?
Yeah, this is, I think, this is the main side effect of styling. It's when
side effect.
Yeah, it's when you start learning this styling and you kind of get addicted to it, that you want to put styling in every single thing, being a leader or a follower, and then you start ruining everything. As a leader, there are things they are really bad, which is like, okay, maybe you are enjoying the music and you're enjoying the music a lot. Is the music you love? you start trying to dance on your own while dancing with the follower, and you start moving your body in a completely different way, which could be fine as long as if you didn't move it in the frame to transfer the message to the follower. Because you start moving your, like, you want to get the swing of the music, but then your frame is also moving a lot, giving a lot of input to the follower, and the follower is completely lost about what to do. Because there are so many meaningless information coming, and she's like, oh my God, what should I do? So this is like when you start trying to put a lot of styling, a lot of footwork, then you miss the timing, and then when you step and transfer the weight, you bring the frame with you, and she's not ready, it's the weight is in the wrong leg, then a lot of mess. It start getting completely messed up, it start going downhill with the dance, because the feeling of pleasure goes down. It just become a feeling of understanding, surviving that dance, like I need to understand this, I completely lost. And on the follower side, there is another thing too, which is like when you start taking your legs, for example, all the time out of the floor because you want to do things with your legs and put a lot of
Changing the
time.
base all the time.
Change the base all the time. So the leader many times they are setting your base to take you to another movement that he has in his plan. But then when he prepares your base, you put a styling by changing the base. Then all the references that he set up, it's in the opposite way. Then you change his plan at the moment of the execution. Yeah. then he changed the plan again to try to go for the other side, and then you change again. So it's like it's breaking the flow all the time. And this is really risky because when we are dancing, we are trying to have an experience where both are trying to fill up the thermometer of pleasure, right? So we have good time, we enjoy the music, we dance. So if I want to really enjoy a moment in the music that I want to move my body a little bit differently, maybe I set you free and then I do my madness here, you do your madness there, and then we connect again. But when you start trying to do everything together, we start getting lost to each other, we start getting disconnected, and then we just can never mind, but then we carry on. But it's not gonna go okay with everyone. Some people are just gonna take a playful way and just play with us and go ahead. But many others will be just like, what do you want? What should I do? And there is nothing wrong happening on the other side. It's just too much information that came at the same time, and then you are lost. So overstyling, it's a thing. It's a tendency. Once you start getting a lot of styling. So as we mentioned in the very beginning, sometimes what you are doing and the way you are doing, it's already super beautiful. You don't need to add more. So less is more in many situations.
So bottom line is overstyling is a thing. We think it is a thing.
Yeah.
And the problem is that it can really interfere with your communication with your partner, from both ways. So that's what we have to be careful of. We have to be really careful with the moments and when to, the moments we choose to add those styles, and to sparkle, to add the sparkles, the glitters to the dance. So yeah, this is something that we have we heard stories that even overstyling causing injuries in the partner and things like this. So it's something that we should pay attention to, And another thing also that is important is that we don't only know the styled version of a movement, because we've already seen this.
This is true
in some situations as well. That we, for example, we're giving a private and would ask for the person to do the bonus, and they would only know the styled version of the bonus. So it's important that you know the basic versions of all the movements, because it's with the basic version that you're going to be able to transform and link
the raw
situations.
Structure.
So the transformations and the combinations, they will happen more often than not coming from the raw version of the movement, So if you only know the styled version, you kind of get stuck. You are going to only do that way, because it's going to be really hard to put something into it, like an improvisation or something like this. So you kind of get stuck into a format that is not really the best way to do.
If you only know a styled version, you only know a variation. you don't know the core itself. And then you are stuck on that thing because whatever transformation we try to do, you're going to have to learn the core movement. So then you add things or you start transforming things.
Yeah.
It's like there is one thing that I usually do. Like I have it written in on our website and everywhere. There it's like learn the rules like a pro, so you break them as an artist. You need to learn the rules because of course no one here wants to learn the rules to stay only on the rules because it formats you. You know, there is a format. It shapes you in a way, and you stay like this and like that. And if everyone would dance like this, it would be everybody copies of each other. Of course, we want to break those rules, but like an artist, because we understand the structure, we understand how things work, we understand our limits, how we keep the characteristics of the dances, respect our own space and dance, not compromising the communication, respecting the space and the techniques that has to be applied on the other side, on the other person dancing with you. So then, of course, then you start making magic with the dance. That's when the magic happens, you know. But you need to know the rules. If you only know the styles, the variations, the sublines, then it's going to be way harder to make styling and make them useful or in a way that they become a plus, an addition, something that is going to enrich the dance instead of something that is going to disturb the dance.
Yeah, it's like Freddie was talking now a lot about the format as well and things like that, and we are really lucky in Brazilian Zouk because we have such a variety of songs and of lines, you know, of Brazilian Zouk instructors and ways of dancing as well. And this is something that is good, and it's something also that allows you to style your dance in a way that you can put your personality into it a little bit more in our perspective than in many other dances. So if you see, when we teach a style class, for example, for either leaders or followers, we give a way, we give a path, and we give options. We try to work on the awareness of that movement, but we try to open a lot of space for self-exploration as well, like for you to explore your own body. I like to style a lot with my own hands in my own body so I can really feel my skin, which increases my awareness of what's going on and where my extremities are. And this is very important for you to have a refined movement so everything links in itself. And this is really good because you can put your personality into it. You don't have to move like me. You don't have to do the arm that I do. You don't have to, you know, of course, I can show you, and I often do and teach the arm works that I like to do. But it's very nice also to open the possibilities for you to come and from understanding what I do, try to feel what you would like to do with your arms and with your legs and with your hands on your body, talking from female follower perspective. Okay,
but it's again that thing about the emotional content that you're gonna bring. You know, and for example, maybe you're a person that everybody tells you like, oh, I like how you move it. It's so sensual. It's so beautiful. It's like hypnotizing. But then one day you are in a congress or in a party or in your community, in a social, and you don't feel like this, you know, like you feel a little bit more, I don't know, you're super energetic and you have a little bit more aggressive, you know, energy, feeling, and then you are dancing with a little bit more high energy and sharper movements, and then it's not so, you know, flowy as people are saying, and then it's like, oh, what happened? And then that is not necessarily a bad thing. That is just like, wow, so today she was on fire, you know, like, or he was on fire. And then the next day, like, oh, it's like water now. You see, like, all these nuances are beautiful, you know, in Brazilian Zouk. That's what we love because we can dance, like, according to the way we feel that day. We can put it out, you know, like, and we just, like, bring that emotional content, put into the movements. And I'm sure that the way you're going to move is going to be different. The way you feel in a way and you dance and the way you feel in another day and you dance, they are going to look different because it will reflect in the movements.
Yes, and we can see also how this changes throughout the years in your own dance. For example, I used to do style things. I used to style movements in a way that now I look back and it doesn't look like me anymore. It's like doesn't feel like Andressa. You know, I look like her. Like what? Why? You know, why did I like do that? But
that was you by that time.
yeah, that was me exactly. That was me with that mindset, with that, you know, in that time frame
Yeah.
of my life. And now I feel like moving in a different way. So I feel like using my arms and my legs and my hips in a different way, and that is great. So this also is something that once you got your own way of movement and refine your way of movement, you're gonna be able to also have it more organic because it's gonna be yours. It's not, you know, it's not something that you just learned from my class, from
Yeah.
any other teacher's class. It's something that okay, you got a pathway and you got like options and you opened up your mind, but you were able also to introduce your life story and your personality to that movement, or to allow any other movement to be born from that, you know? So this is something that I really like about the options of styling in Brazilian Zouk, and that's how we like to teach our classes as well, rather
Yeah.
than just like very formatted like choreography, styling choreography classes,
Yeah.
you know?
And also like not only okay, let's do this styling here, let's do that styling there, let's put this arm here, let's put this leg there. It's just like it's a whole context, you know, like
Yeah.
it's the whole thing about learning the movement, controlling the movement, owning the movement, refining the movement, reshaping it, putting your own thing on that movement, and then you may find yourself what is the best thing to do with your arm or with your leg, if you should put it up, if you should pass in yourself, if you just like feel it on your body, you will feel it, you know. I think it works way better than just like everybody doing the same way as one person does,
Yes.
you know.
Okay, guys, we're gonna
Yeah.
wrap it up for today. We hope you guys have a great week. We wish you all a Merry Christmas, despite it's 2020.
Yeah, Christmas, guys.
We just hope everybody to remain safe and healthy and have a lovely Christmas. Okay?
Yes. Guys, take it easy with the food. Okay? Don't go so much because we want to dance a lot. And guys, take care. Okay. Make sure you guys are taking all the precautions with this craziness that is happening in the world now. And have a Merry Christmas. Okay. Hope all of you and your families are good. And hope to see you guys very soon.
Next Monday, we're gonna be here for another Methodology Monday.
Mondays.
And guys, if you like this content, hit the like button,
Yeah.
share with your friends, and this conversation does not have to end here. You can keep the conversation in the comments, and you can also join us in our Facebook group, Zouk Methodology by FNA, and also on Telegram, Zouk Methodology by FNA.
So to join all these groups, you can check on the link, the description below. In the description, you find the group on Facebook and the group on Telegram, where we put more additional audios and more things over there. And yeah, that's it, guys. Make sure you subscribe the channel so you get the notification every time we put any dance content here. And that's it. Hit the like button and share with your friends.
Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas, guys. Bye-bye.